Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do a review for RoboDo VR. RoboDo VR is described by the developer as a single-player slash multiplayer VR puzzle game with plenty of exciting features. Well, we'll see about that. It was released on the Steam Store October 2nd, 2020 by developers Gabriel Usekit, Edvardus Snyderis, and Lucas Litinskas. RoboDo VR normally retails for $18. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game. There is a free demo you can download to try out the game as well. RoboDo VR officially supports the HTC Vive, Valve Index, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. However, I did have several issues on the Oculus Quest 2. On the Oculus Quest 2, which is my preferred headset, I had loading screen issues where the game would take a very long time to load, and I also had hand tracking issues where the hands would disappear. Now, this also happened on Windows Mixed Reality, but it happened much more often on the Oculus Quest 2. The developer is aware of these issues and is saying there's going to be an update coming very soon that hopefully addresses these issues, but we shall see. For right now, I do not recommend RoboDo for the Oculus Quest 2. It's a much more pleasant experience on Windows Mixed Reality, but the developer, like I said, is aware of the issues and is working on fixing them. The developer has promised that the next chapter, Chapter 4, will be released soon with the next update. So I only played the first 3 chapters, which is all that is available in the game now. It took me a little over 4 hours to complete the game, but again, I dealt with several issues on the Oculus Quest 2. I had to give up on the Oculus Quest 2 and then go with Windows Mixed Reality. On Windows Mixed Reality, a lot of those issues disappeared, but the hand tracking issue was still there, just not very often. I want to estimate that the game probably takes 3, maybe 4 hours top to complete. Based on the achievements, I believe Chapter 4 will introduce a shooting mechanic, so that'll be a welcome addition to the game. I should also note that you can play this game both single player and multiplayer, and you are encouraged to do that because the levels are different for single player and multiplayer. I was only able to test out the single player experience, but the multiplayer experience is present. I can't say if it works properly or not, but it is there currently. Overall, I did have fun playing with this game, but it was also a very frustrating experience, and I'm trying not to hold that against the game or the developer because, like I said, on the Oculus Quest 2 I experienced several issues and I kind of just gave up on the game. But once I switched to Windows Mixed Reality, the experience was much better. However, it still wasn't perfect. I still experienced some bugs, and there was still an overall lack of polish. Some mechanics can be better, and just the whole experience could be a smoother experience. Especially the UI here is pretty ugly, and the settings available in this game are nice, but I'm not sure they are safe when you're actually playing the game. Every time I went back to settings and looked under graphics, it was always reset back to the default versus what I had saved. RoboDo VR is running on the Unreal Engine. You do have full locomotion and snap turning available. Even though the developer does call this a puzzle game, and there are puzzles in this game, I would say it falls closer to an action climbing platformer than a puzzle game. The first few levels actually do have several puzzles, but by the time you get to Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 and you finish the game, there's not a lot of puzzles in those levels. Really, the puzzles were in the first chapter. I think that's one thing that can be improved on as far as the game experience, is just more puzzles spread out through each level. Right now it seems like they forgot about the puzzles and just went all in on action climbing platformer. I think this game works best when it's a combination of everything. I think it's going more for like a Portal type game. It doesn't come anywhere near close to Portal, so don't worry about that. But definitely I think this game is better with some puzzles thrown in there just to add more variety to the gameplay versus being all about climbing. It seems it's very climbing intensive towards the end. Now, you do need either standing room or a room scale setup for this game, but I would recommend at least a small room scale setup. It'll be so much easier to reach certain objects in this game with the room scale setup. Performance wise, I did not have any issues on Windows Mixed Reality. I was getting a steady 90 frames per second on my RTX 3080, but as I mentioned, I wasn't able to adjust the graphical settings. However, on the Oculus Quest 2, I had all kinds of performance issues. There were loading screens, and it just seemed the game wasn't performing as well as it was on Windows Mixed Reality. The visuals for this game are honestly not the best and could use better lighting overall. That's really my main criticism about the visuals. Okay, so visually they're not that interesting. I think there could be more variety within the level designs to just make it more appealing, maybe have different themes in the chapters for this game, but also the lighting. It's just very poor in certain areas of the game, and I had trouble seeing switches just because it was so dark in the game. There is no reason for this game to be dark. The sounds overall could also be better in this game. The sound effects could use some work just to make it more immersive, and the music soundtrack. I think I heard the same music soundtrack in this game repeatedly. It's nice, but it's just repeated a bit too much. Although I did not like the visual level design, I did like the game level design. I liked the levels. They were fun to get around and get to the end goal of the game. Basically, that's your goal, to get from point A to point B, and you have to climb, you have to jump, and you have to avoid several dangers along the way, which includes lasers that spin all around, and you gotta find the right levers to activate the right climbable object. It all comes together pretty nicely, but like I said, it definitely needs more puzzles mixed in there. And also, I can't wait for the shooting mechanic. I think that will add some depth to the gameplay, which is much needed for this game. A little bit of fair warning for those of you who do get motion sickness in VR. You are propelled forward and high in the air and around from one end of the map to the other with these speed ramps that are part of the logic of the game. So beware of that if you get motion sickness. I don't, so I love getting on them and going high in the air and trying to catch climbable object where you're going fast and trying to avoid the lasers while doing it. It's pretty fun, but it's definitely not for everyone. So I am going to recommend RoboDo VR. However, I will caution anyone with the Oculus Quest 2 not to buy it until they see an update from the developer that this game is now working properly with the Oculus Quest 2. Also, there is an overall lack of polish that you'll have to accept in order to enjoy this game, but I had fun. I liked the level design. It could have been better. So if I have to rate this game, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think the $18 once the chapter 4 comes out will be a reasonable price, and I'm definitely interested in seeing how the shooting mechanic will fit within the context of the game, and maybe one day I'll test out multiplayer. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. If you like my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, please have a wonderful day. Goodbye.